Hello there, my name is Hayden Wainwright. I'm one of the two people that has been sending you lots of annoying emails about the mentoring program. And today we're going to take a tour of the Biosciences complex. We're at the south end of it at the moment, just across from Summer Hill here on Queen's campus. So I'm going to mask up, we'll head inside, and we'll take you to some of the key highlight spots in the building. So as the first stop on our tour, when you come through the main doors here, you hit the Tim Hortons. Very important thing to come to know, especially if you're not a great morning person and need a coffee bright and early. And if we head just across the way here from the Tim Hortons, we end up in the atrium. Nice spot to hang out if it's not too busy. Usually lots of undergrads in here, at least in pre-COVID times. From here, you can pretty much get to everywhere else you need to be in the building. So we're going to start most of the rest of the rooms from here, and so long as you can find your way here, you should be able to get your way to all the other important spots in the building. Alright, first room on our tour is going to be the main lecture hall. So, as long as you can find your way into the atrium here, either from those doors, or there's another set of doors just down that hallway over there. You're going to head straight this way towards the atrium. Hopefully Heather, who's doing the editing on this, will speed up the walking so it doesn't take forever. But here we go. There we are. This is the main lecture hall in the Biosciences complex, mainly for undergrad use, but as grad students it's good to know where it is. Perhaps more for TA duties than anything else, but there we are. Alright, next stop on our tour is going to be the two smaller lecture halls on the main floor, rooms 1102 and 1103, I believe. They're currently under construction, so I don't think they're going to be used in the fall semester, but this is where they are, if and when you need to get there. Would be a door right here that you'd go through. 1102 would be on the left, I think, and 1103 would be on the right, but it's under construction at the moment. The other key feature that you're going to want to know is the Tim's Express line, which is right across the hallway here from it. Alright, next we're going to go upstairs to take a look at the main office and a couple of seminar rooms on the third floor. Right, so I'm not sure whether it's obvious from my videography skills yet, but we've never done a virtual tour like this before, so this is all an experiment for us. To get to the third floor, you need to go up a set of stairs. And as I'm sure you're aware, there are many stairs in buildings nowadays. But the one we're going to take is the main one in the atrium, just because it's the most convenient and easiest for everyone to follow. So, once you're in the atrium, if you want to head to the third floor lunchroom, or the offices, or the main offices that is, or the third floor seminar rooms, this is the way you're going to go. Ooh, look, new floors. Alright, first stop. This is Dr. Brian Cummings' office, who's the head of the department. And if we turn left, we will come into the rest of the seminar rooms on the third floor. We have room 3110, room 3112, and across the hall from these, we have the administrative offices. If you go behind here, that's Joanne's office and Julie French's office. Important people to know and make sure that you're acquainted with for all your administrative needs. And finally, we have the general main office, which is right here as well. That's where you'll get your keys and everything like that when it's time to do so. All right, from here we'll go back down to the atrium and make our way to the lunchroom on the third floor. Just before we leave this area, actually, it probably makes good sense to show you guys what a photocopier room is and things like that if you ever need to do stuff like that for your prof or for TA duties. Photocopier room is right here, across from the head's conference room, which you shouldn't need to visit for too much, but it is a bookable space for things like your defense or committee meetings and stuff like that if they ever go back to being in person. And at the end of the hall here is the lunchroom, but we'll go back down to the atrium and show you guys how to get up there from here too. Alright, here we are, newly redone lunchroom. Coffee maker, tea, microwave, toaster oven, nice seating area, and a view of City Park across the way. Alright, from here, we'll go from the atrium to the 4th floor lunchrooms, the EEB lounge. Alright, let's say now it's old Thursday afternoon and it's time to head up to the EEB for a seminar, or you want to grab a lunch, but you are on the 4th floor. This is how you get there from the atrium. All-important stop is one of our Biograd bulletin boards where you get the chance to post posters and photos and just generally connect with what's going on in the department. And if we continue this way, we end up in the 4th floor lunchroom. Nice space to sit, and normally a messier spot to cook or prepare your lunch. And if we take a tour through the doors on the left, we end up in the EEB seminar room. All right, next stop we're going to go to is the 2nd floor teaching labs. This is where if you do any in-class teaching, probably of first year stuff, that's where you're most likely to be. There is construction going on in there, so we will see how far we can get. But though this is hopefully where the rooms for teaching your first year courses will likely be. Alright, so on the left, we've got teaching room 2319, 2325. Here is Barb and Anna's office, 2 important course coordinators for the bigger courses. And if we look across the hall, we have Laura Nagel's office, 2322. And over here we have teaching laboratory 2320. And behind me, 2326. All right. If we continue along this path, we will end up at the loading dock. And another important spot to know, it's where all your packages and stuff will likely end up, unless you're lucky enough to have them delivered to your lab or office space directly. So, to the loading dock. Unnumbered room, and then number 2312 are also at this end, as well as 2306. If we continue this way past the lockers, we'll end up here at the loading dock. Alright, so next stop we're going to do is a quick tour of the rest of the 3rd floor. This will take you to the teaching classrooms on there, and yeah, these are normally for more 2nd and 3rd year lab courses, but if you need to get there, this is the way you go. Alright, so once you're on the third floor, if you go right, that takes you back towards Joanne's offices and the other grad student bulletin board. And if you go to the left, there's the lunchroom as well as the teaching classes, which is where we're going to next. So, across the way over here we have Fern's office, which is 3321. Teaching laboratory 3319. And across the way over here, 3326 and 3320. That's about it for the third floor. From here, we'll head back to the atrium for our next stop. I should mention that there are a couple of the teaching labs on the third floor that I forgot about. So just continuing on from 3320 and Fern's office across the way there. So if we continue down this way, on the right here we end up at 3306, the teaching lab, and over here we have 3312. Across the hall, we've got 3311 teaching labs, and that's it for the third floor this time. I am being honest. Alright, so that should be the highlights for the Biosciences complex. If you have any other requests of areas to film, let us know and we will see what we can do. But now we're going to shift our focus to how to get to different areas of the campus from Biosci. So let's say that we want to go from here to the gym because we've had a long day and we need to work off some stress. Then we're going to take this route over here. On the way we'll stop at a couple of other interesting highlight or important parts on campus too.
When I wake up, well I know I'm...
We'll stop here at the loading dock, the outside of the loading dock this time. So this is another way to get into the building, but mainly this is where the trucks and stuff will drop off all your also important supplies, though if you're doing field work, it's a good spot to load it up front. Alright, continuing on this way. Leaving Biosci behind. Alright, so as we approach here, if you were to head through these doors, turn right, and head through the doors on the right side there, you would end up in the tea room, which is a great spot to grab a coffee, tea, sandwich, lunch, whatever you may have. They're a completely sustainable student-run organization that makes a damn good cup of coffee and tea. Continuing from here, we're going to head off to the Arc. Alright, so in pre-COVID times, if you head through here and then through the gate on the side, you'd end up in the athletics gym area of the building. And instead, if you headed off to the right, or left if you came in the doors that I did, then headed upstairs, you would be able to get to, there's another coffee shop up there called Common Ground or Cogro. And there's Pita Pit, Tim's, what other stuff down here? A couple of other fast food-like places that you can grab a bite to eat, as well as the grocery store on campus. It's all in this building. From here, we're going to circle back towards the Biosciences complex, just hitting a couple of other main points as we go. Alright, so here we are at the corner of Union, which is running left to right across your screen, and University, just kind of front to back from the screen here. At this corner, we have a bus, and behind the bus is Stalker Library. It's one of the bigger libraries on campus. Not a bad spot to do work, but there it is. And behind me here we have the JDUC, or John Deutsch University Center. For those of you who don't know, come to realize real quick that most of the people who've been here for a while tend to shorten every building name to an acronym of some sort. And then across the street, we have Douglas Library. Yet another not a bad spot to work. And if you were to continue down this street, you would hit Grant Hall and a couple of other main buildings on campus, which we will do in just a minute once we show you one other stop. Alright, across the way here is Gordon Hall. This is where the registrar's office is, where if you have problems with your student card, things like that, this is the people you're going to want to see, transcript pickup, things like that. It's actually the doors just to the left of the stairs there you normally head in for that sort of thing. It's on the first floor. And over here is Mitchell Hall, one of the newer buildings on campus that contains probably the closest Starbucks to Biosci. So if that's the kind of thing that you need in the mornings, a Starbucks instead of Tim's or the tea room, you'll head just through these doors and it's on the left. We're going to go back toward the university to show you a couple of the other main buildings on campus and then head back to Biosci to finish off there. So across the way here we have Dunning Hall, which is the where the Faculty of Arts and Science has its headquarters. So if you ever have an issue with anything regarding them, those are the doors you'll walk through. Their offices are on the second floor. That's also the Dunning Auditorium, where you, it's another big auditorium on campus, so it'll be where a lot of the first year and undergrad classes are held. But continuing along University, just passing Douglas Library on our left, we'll see a couple of other of the important buildings, then head back. Alright, this stop we've got 4 important buildings. Well, the first one's not so much important as it is pretty. This is Ontario Hall, the one with the nice symmetrical front. I kind of tried to show as we walk by. Not really all that important, it's just a pretty building. On the right side over here we have Grant Hall. That's where convocation happens and a couple of other public events throughout the year. The one with the big clock tower. And across the street from me now we have Ellis. This is where some tutorials are held that you may have to TA. More likely if you're in there it'll probably be to help proctor an exam or something like that. And over here is the math building Jeffrey, which in the basement again has some larger lecture halls, so I don't know whether your prof, if you're TAing a course, may want you to attend those or at least show up for some of them, but that's how to get to the building, and you just go through those doors and take the stairs on the right and go down to the bottom of the dungeon to the lecture halls that are there. The red brick building there is the art gallery, something that you may want to check out once everything's open again like normal. But from here we're going to actually head back to the Biosciences building now, and we'll finish our tour from there. I should probably mention there is a whole other side to campus down over there. If you take that street, you turn right, you'll see the physics building, chemistry building. Ban Re is the building on the corner there and some of the residences. But for most grad students, this is kind of the side of campus that will be of most interest to you. The hospital is just across the way from the field over there, the big building behind the trees. And if we continue this way, we'll get back where we started. Alright, we're back on Arch Street. If we are to turn just this way a little bit, on our left here is a look at the new med building. It's got another coffee shop inside of it, some study spaces, but mainly biology grad students I don't know of having much excuse to go in there unless maybe you're TAing a physiology or anatomy course. But the large building at the end of Arch Street here is Botterill Hall. Now you may have to go in there to get some supplies for your labs. I know that whenever we need 100% ethanol, things like that, for our DNA extractions, it's in the loading dock at Botterill Hall, which is a whole other video. I don't think we will be filming because of COVID restrictions, but anyway, that's the building, and the entrance is basically, if you just continue to the end of Arch Street, you walk through a door and you're in Botterill. So this is the Biosciences complex again. We're back here. Those are the doors just there by the railing that we were inside at the atrium for. And that pretty much concludes our tour of campus. All right, the last stop on our virtual or video tour, whatever you want to call it, I might argue is one of the more important ones. It's for Friday afternoons when you've had a long work week. It's time to relax, catch up on the business in the department or just with friends, or just because you know it's Friday and you want to just relax, period. We're going to the Grad Club, which it's more or less a tradition in the department at about 4:30, 5 o'clock. There is a slow mass exodus towards the building, so we shall show you the way to get there now. Alright, so at this side of the building we have City Park, but we're going to continue to the left up Berry Street. Just a quick stop here. This is the Four Directions Indigenous Student Center, and across the park here, the large building that is obscured by trees at the moment is the courthouse. All right, and here we are at the hallowed grounds that are the Grad Club. That pretty much concludes our virtual tour of campus and the Biosciences building. I hope you guys found it useful, informative, perhaps entertaining. I don't know what it should be called, Hayden's rambling on camera, but anyway, that's pretty much campus as it stands at the moment. Thank you so much to Heather for doing the editing. I hope you guys do find it useful and perhaps enjoyed seeing one of the faces behind all the emails you've been getting. We look forward to welcoming you on campus when times allow for that, and perhaps grabbing a drink with you here at Grad Club on a Friday afternoon. Take care till then, and best of luck with the start of your semester.